Did you know that sharks inhabit every ocean of the world and are essential for maintaining a healthy ocean environment? Now I know that.
The Florida Aquarium's Eric Hovland is back to talk about the importance of the species, and he brought along some unusual friends and a legendary mustache. It's terrific. That's probably what you're famous for.
It is. It is legendary.
So far, so good.
That's great. You know, just this past week it was Shark Week, and not only are sharks like great entertainment value, but they're also super important to maintaining the ocean environment as well.
That's absolutely right. You know, let's all take a rest from a week of Shark Week. We're kind of in that shark hangover right now. Yeah, a lot coming at you.
Sure.
But a lot of great information too. And you're absolutely right when you touch on the fact that animals from, well, some friends we're going to meet here in a moment here, jellies all the way up to sharks. The sharks are kind of like top-down management to help balance that ecosystem with all of the animals encompassed on a reef or the open ocean.
That's amazing.
So, okay, I do want to throw this out there just because I want to get your take. We actually didn't talk about this before, so I apologize. But like Eric, right now, you know, you do hear about the shark attacks. And I'm one of those people that I'm like, well, there goes Natalie's chance of getting in the ocean.
Right.
Why do I need to change my way of thinking?
Yeah, well, first off, remember when you go out into the wild, you're going out into the wild. So take the same precautions you would if you're going out into the forest or the desert or, you know, the jungle or something.
I probably wouldn't do any of that.
Yeah, you wouldn't run out there in your underwear. But we essentially do that when we go to the beach. You go out in your swimming suit and you're like, welcome, ocean, here I am. That is the home for a lot of different animals, from jellies to sharks. It's also currents and the sun and all those things you need to protect yourself from. So really, go out there with your friends. You know, avoid those darker hours, night to dawn. That's when the sharks are probably out hunting. It's hard to see when everything's, you know, dim like that. You don't want them to make that mistake. And those mistakes are exceptionally rare, but you can avoid them all the more. You know, avoid the blingy jewelry. You probably wouldn't take that into the ocean with you. That might look like the shiny
You've never been to the beach with me.
Well, and it goes for the suit, you know, the contrast, those signals that say to a shark, like, look over here, as opposed to like, I'm out with a bunch of friends, don't go where fishing's happening, because, you know, that's already a zone where sharks are looking for their food. And despite the fact that 100 million people come to our beaches every year, we still only see a small amount of accidents in the shape of bites.
And it's very often it's mistaken identity. It's
Almost
a mistake.
always.
Yeah, always.
Yeah, you notice the sharks don't stick around. They usually bite and oops and move on.
So I need to get like a camo bathing suit is what you're telling me, right?
You know what? I think you can make that work.
Think I can make that work? Okay, well, you know, one thing that you guys are making work at the Florida Aquarium, this new exhibit that people are just loving.
Loving it. The lines are backing out the door just about for Moon Bay for these little beauties. You're going to be contrast for us today.
Hold 'em. There you go.
Check them out. Get on in there. These are moon jellies. These are teeny ones. Now remember we came back, it was been actually 2 months already since we opened. We seem to be stuck on Moon Bay on Memorial Day. And here we are with some of the jellies that our hardworking scientists raise at the Florida Aquarium themselves. These little squirts in here will grow to about the size of a dinner plate. And you can get to know them 2 fingers at a time at Moon Bay at the Florida Aquarium. It's part of our whole lobby redesign. It's absolutely beautiful.
And I was able, since you were here the other day, I was able to tell the difference in what you're going to illustrate here, but some of our guests did not, which sparked some conversation here in studio.
Yeah, we got some junk in the tube right here. And in the sense that this is the kind of junk you might unfortunately see when you're out in our beautiful oceans.
Right.
These look like jellies. They look like jellies to us. Now imagine you're a hungry turtle or one of the many animals that makes jellies their diet. And you see this cookie wrapper here in particular. I have a little beef with this one because it was drifting across the parking lot. When I picked up that piece of plastic to go in this tube to replicate a jelly, I realized that was the quintessential single-use plastic.
Yes.
Somebody went into a store, bought a tasty cookie. They had to package that cookie before it could make it from their hand to their mouth before they got to their car and drop that piece of plastic to drift across the lot, go into the oceans, and perhaps end an animal's life.
Yes.
Don't get the bag, eat the cookie!
That's
Eat
right.
the cookie. Eric, we've got about 30 seconds, and I want to kind of let you end on talking about how important it is to, again, focus on being able to clean up,
There's a lot that you can do. You can cut back on that single-use plastic, skip that straw, skip that cookie bag, make sustainable seafood choices, celebrate sharks from bottom to top, because that's right, whale sharks, it's almost a basking shark, one of my absolute favorites.
So by the way, we've been talking a lot about shoes. I was going to show my heel, but that would be awkward television. So mine's on the ground, but you're stepping the gate. You're stepping up. I love
Ankle biters included. Thank you, Gabe.
I love that.
Good stuff. Eric, you are always a treat to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here and celebrate sharks every week.